Okay, I'm going back. I'm going back.
This is an Israeli checkpoint in the occupied West Bank, a sign of Israel's military control over the territory since 1967. More than 3 million Palestinians here face about 700 different obstacles to their freedom of movement, including checkpoints, roadblocks and gates.
There's no other way to call it but apartheid. It's not only human rights organization. I mean, anyone who looks at the situation on the ground knows it is apartheid.
Rights organizations say Palestinians are denied basic civil rights, including that of freedom of assembly, association and expression. The Oslo Accords, signed in Washington, D.C. in 1993, were supposed to bring about Palestinian self-determination. The Accords divided the West Bank into areas A, B and C. Area C, exclusively for Israelis, constitutes about 60% of the West Bank, and that figure is growing. There are up to 750,000 Israeli settlers living in about 250 settlements in violation of international law. They openly carry weapons, often intimidating, attacking and harassing Palestinians to displace them from their lands. Children in the occupied West Bank are also targeted. Israel is the only country in the world to prosecute children in military courts. Meanwhile, UNICEF says 2023 was the worst year on record in which soldiers killed 124 children. The UN Special Rapporteur, an independent expert responsible for monitoring human rights in the occupied territories, was recently barred from entering Israel. Francesca Albanese says that's been happening for the last 16 years.
By refusing me entry, Israel is abusing of its powers as an occupying power. So as long as it remains the occupying power in the West Bank, the Gaza Strip and East Jerusalem, Israel needs to conform with the rules of the United Nations.
Recent comments by Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu point to a doubling down on its continued military occupation.
I will not compromise on full Israeli security control of all territory west of the Jordan River. My insistence is what has prevented over the years the establishment of a Palestinian state.
Israeli raids happen nightly now. Nearly 400 Palestinians, including more than 100 children, have been killed in the occupied West Bank since Israel's war on Gaza began in October. Michael Appel, Al Jazeera.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news from Al Jazeera.